guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. Tony Khan removes Brian Kendrick from AEW Dynamite. Last night, Tony Khan announced that Brian Kendrick would not be wrestling Jon Moxley on AEW Dynamite after all. In a statement released on Twitter, Tony Khan revealed that Kendrick was off the show due to past comments made by Kendrick and a replacement was going to be announced shortly. Quote, "We've been made aware of the abhorrent and offensive comments made in the past by Brian Kendrick," Khan tweeted. "There is no room in AEW for the views expressed by Brian. We think it's best for all that Brian be pulled from tonight's card as we gather more info. We'll announce a replacement bout as soon as possible." Brian Kendrick, who left WWE the prior day after requesting his release from the promotion a week ago, was immediately booked to wrestle Moxley in what looked to be a continuation of an ongoing storyline between Moxley and Bryan Danielson, a real-life friend of Kendrick. It is unknown whether Kendrick's appearance would be a one-off or if it would lead to him signing with AEW full-time. Following the announcement of Kendrick's appearance, a video from 2011 and a recap article from a 2013 High Spots video resurfaced on social media. Both videos featured Kendrick showing support of various conspiracy theories, including one involving the Sandy Hook school shooting and numerous anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. In the recap article of his High Spots video, Kendrick was also seen saying that the Holocaust was blown out of proportion. Brian Kendrick, a seasoned wrestling veteran with companies like WWE and Impact Wrestling, has now spoken out about the situation. Posting to his Twitter account, Brian made a sincere apology for the comments he made in the past and acknowledged that he has to live with the regret for the remainder of his life. Quote, "I apologize for all the hurt and embarrassment I have caused with my words. These are not my beliefs and never were beliefs of mine, and I crossed the line. I spread the most vile comments without thinking of the damage it would cause." Kendrick continues, quote, "I will live with this regret for the rest of my life. I am truly sorry for the pain I have caused." Shane McMahon reportedly wanted to feud with young WWE talent. Shane McMahon was reportedly pushing for a WrestleMania 38 match with Austin Theory. As noted, it was revealed yesterday morning that Shane McMahon has, quote, been quietly let go from WWE due to the significant heat he received for his role as a producer and writer of the Men's Royal Rumble match this past Saturday. Shane competed in the match, but was reportedly heavily criticized for how he took charge of the booking and tried to make the match about himself. In an update, PW Insider now reports that Shane had been pushing for a WrestleMania 38 match with Theory. The idea was that Shane vs. Theory would play off Theory's recent Raw storyline with Vince, but nothing was 100% locked in place. There were other people in WWE pushing for Shane vs. Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. At one point, there was a planned Royal Rumble sequence to set up Shane vs. Seth Rollins, but that was nixed when the many pre-Rumble changes were made and Rollins was pulled from the 30-man Rumble. It was recently revealed that WWE had plans for Shane to work as a heel on the Raw brand moving forward. This new update from PW Insider notes that Shane was pulled from the internal Raw roster yesterday afternoon, and word going around is that, quote, "the direction has changed." Shane was also not at Monday's Raw in Cincinnati. Regarding Shane picking up heat on the day of the Rumble, the word going around is that he was obviously frustrated that day. It was believed by some that his frustration had to do with Vince shooting down some of the ideas for the match. The talk was that Shane was upset over the fact that, quote, he wasn't being allowed to do what he wanted, and that he was, quote, greatly preoccupied by his own spot in the Men's Rumble. There was also a feeling among some that Shane is taking the brunt of the heat for the poor reception to the Men's Royal Rumble match, and that when the heat for that blows over, eventually Shane will return in some capacity down the line. This WWE run for Shane is already over, at least for the time being. He does not hold any executive position or responsibilities with the company. It was announced in August 2021 that Shane was appointed to the role of executive chairman of Ideanomics, a company that recently got into the electric vehicle market, and he has been focusing his energy on that job as of late. Shane has been involved in the company since 2010 and served as vice chairman before being appointed to executive chairman last year. There is no word on what WWE had planned for Shane at Elimination Chamber or how he has reacted to being quietly let go, but we will keep you updated. Backstage talk on Shane McMahon and Bad Bunny concerns at WWE Royal Rumble. A new report indicates that there may be more to the Shane McMahon story. As noted earlier, it was revealed that McMahon is no longer with the company after his father, WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, made the decision to quietly let him go after the WWE Royal Rumble debacle from the weekend. Shane is no longer factored into Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania 38 plans, and this run is reportedly over before it really got started. In an update, it was reported yesterday afternoon by WrestleVotes that the Shane story could have, quote, ripple effects for years to come. Quote, it goes beyond anything that may or may not have happened Saturday night, the report noted, but no other details were provided. Furthermore, Mat Men's Andrew Zarian noted that one issue with the 30-man Royal Rumble match had to do with rapper Bad Bunny, as there were numerous changes to what number he would enter the match at. This was a cause for concern and people within WWE were upset. Quote, WWE doesn't want to come off negatively with such a major outside star, the report noted. It wasn't clear if McMahon was responsible for the changes to Bunny's Rumble match booking or if one of the other producers/writer were. Bunny ended up entering the men's Royal Rumble at 27 and was the 26th elimination, tossed out by winner Brock Lesnar after 7 minutes and 41 seconds in. Bunny picked up 2 eliminations while in the match, Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler, which was assisted by Rey Mysterio. MJF reacts after handing CM Punk his first loss in AEW. For those who missed last night's AEW Dynamite, MJF handed CM Punk his first loss in AEW, defeating the former WWE champion in his hometown of Chicago. MJF appeared to have the match won early when he used a long piece of tape as a garrote to choke Punk out, causing Punk to pass out. However, the referee caught MJF dropping the tape and realized that the Pinnacle leader had used a foreign object to choke Punk out. This led to the match being restarted. Later on in the match, Wardlow would arrive ringside and get directly in Punk's face. The outsiders teased that Wardlow's loyalty was conflicted and he wasn't necessarily out there to help his fellow Pinnacle member. Once Punk dragged MJF back into the ring, Wardlow distracted the referee by standing on the apron, allowing MJF to nail Punk across the face with his Dynamite Diamond ring. He then covered Punk for the pinfall victory. Replays after the match showed that it was Wardlow who handed MJF the ring. Although MJF holds pinfall victories over Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes, AEW commentators stressed that the 25-year-old star picked up the biggest win of his professional wrestling career by defeating Punk in Chicago. After Dynamite went off the air, MJF took to Twitter to gloat his victory. The AEW star said, quote, "Second city, so I beat that bum twice," end quote. WWE bringing Johnny Knoxville back, Sami Zayn calls out red carpet media coverage. Sami Zayn took to Twitter yesterday to call out the media for their coverage of his Jackass Forever red carpet movie premiere appearance. As noted, the Zayn and Knoxville feud continued during Saturday's 30-man Royal Rumble match as Zayn eliminated the Jackass star. Zayn was tossed out by AJ Styles while Zayn celebrated and taunted Knoxville at ringside. WWE's Megan Morant interviewed Knoxville and Zayn after the show, and they both indicated that the feud was not over. Zayn then attended the Jackass Forever invite-only world premiere in Los Angeles on Tuesday night. Knoxville confronted Zayn when he was speaking to reporters and had security take him away. Knoxville taunted Zayn while he was being removed and hit him with a cattle prod. In an update, Zayn has been retweeting media coverage of the appearance. He said the media is framing the incident to make him look like a deranged nutjob. Quote, "The media is framing the incident that took place at the #Jackass Forever premiere to make me look like a deranged nutjob. The fact that I was assaulted with a weapon in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard while dozens of cameras filmed and photographed it doesn't seem to matter." On a related note, WWE issued an email survey yesterday to gauge fan feedback on Knoxville's recent WWE appearances. One of the questions had to do with if fans would want to see Knoxville make more appearances on WWE television. It was noted by PW Insider that Knoxville's recent run with WWE was well received internally. While the original plan was for the program to end at the Royal Rumble on Saturday, it looks like those plans may have changed. Brandy Rhodes calls out Chicago trash for cheering Paige Van Zant on AEW Dynamite. AEW Chief Brand Officer Brandy Rhodes and Paige Van Zant got into a heated brawl on last night's AEW Dynamite. Rhodes initially cut an in-ring promo where she belittled the town of Chicago until she would be interrupted by American top teams Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, and Ethan Paige. Lambert ripped on Brandy's accent and poked fun at the, quote, bolt-ons popping out of your t-shirt, end quote. Brandy then told Paige that AEW only hired him because they wanted his former tag team partner Josh Alexander from Impact Wrestling. She proceeded to mock Lambert because his fighters had previously taken losses to Jake Paul. Brandy asked Lambert to spend more time at American Top, you know the rest. The war of words led to Van Zant storming to the ring and going after Brandy. The two-women brawled until members of the AEW locker room ran out to break things up. Later, Brandy took to Twitter to call out the trash fans in Chicago for cheering Van Zant and her, quote, big-headed daddy Dan. Quote, you guys would cheer for Paige Van Zant and her big-headed daddy Dan? They fit right in with the Chicago trash. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. So what are your thoughts on the stories covered in today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.